Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me, Jackie Talmage, for this workshop. And through this workshop, you will learn about your mind-body connection and how your mind-body connection communicates to you. So you'll be going on a bit of a journey and it's going to be really powerful. So I'm really excited for you. So just to let you know what to expect, you will be experiencing your mind-body connection in action. So we're going to do a couple of experiments so that you can really feel your mind-body connection working for you in your body. And then you're going to discover how powerful your mind is, particularly your unconscious mind, and how to use it really powerfully to be able to create your dreams and to create the life that you truly desire for yourself. And then you are going to discover your body personality type. Yeah, we all have one, so you will experience what yours is. And then towards the end of this workshop, we're then going to do an exercise, a meditation, where you will truly listen to your body and what it's trying to communicate to you. So if you have any health issues, or if you keep having repeated illnesses or any aches and pains in your body, or any life issues actually, that keeps happening again and again, and you want to change that patterning, then you'll get a chance to really tune in to understand what's really going on for you. So that's towards the end. So turn off your phone, shut the door, shut out your life, shut out the noise. And if you do share your house or this space with somebody else, then maybe you want to communicate to them, to tell them that you're doing this so that they can be a little bit quieter while you're doing this. Let them honour your time and you honour this time for you too. So try not to skip the lessons. You might be a little bit tempted to kind of fast forward a few things, get to the end where all the juicy bits are, where you'll learn your answers. But by skipping and missing out some of the lessons, it's a bit like this workshop is a bit like a jigsaw puzzle. So you'll be putting bits of the pieces together to form a whole picture of what's truly going on for you. So try not to miss any of it. And if you find you've not got time right now to do this, then you might want to do a little bit now, 10 minutes say, and then stop it, pause it, and then come back to it another time when you have got time. Honour this time for you. I'm not going away. No, just log back onto this URL and I'll be here. I will be here to share this stuff with you. It's so important. And I want you to experience more of who you truly are, and you will be doing that through this workshop. So, are you ready? Yeah, let's begin. Okay, so let's get right back down to basics. Let me explain how the mind-body connection works. So whenever we think a thought, our body listens, our body responds. So when we think a thought, chemicals get released within our bloodstream to help whatever the thought was, to help our bodies to respond to that thought. And a classic example is when we feel stressed. When we're in a stressful situation, our freeze, fight or flight chemicals get released within the body. And that is to help us to run away or freeze or fight to whatever danger is within our space. So when we are finding ourselves stressed quite a lot of the time, then our immune system is getting compromised because it is constantly churning out these chemicals within our body, and our body is working overtime to try and help us. But when we're not actually running away from a saber-toothed tiger, which is of course what we used to do in our ancient past, we were facing death, we were in imminent danger. But you see, our body now, even though we are not in this same kind of level of danger, our body thinks that we are, because we might be stuck in a traffic jam and we're late for an appointment and we're not going anywhere, and so our stress levels rise and our blood pressure gets faster and our heartbeat starts getting faster, and our body is working for us, releasing these stress hormones into our body to help us to get ourselves out of this stressful situation. But actually it's not helping us, because we're not actually in danger. We're just in a car, late somewhere. And that is the power of our mind, because our beliefs and our thoughts create these chemical responses within our body. And because we're not in imminent danger anymore, we need to learn how to suppress these stress hormones, because basically this thing that's happening in our life is happening. And the more stressed we get about it, the worse it will actually get. So we need to learn how to control our minds and tell our bodies we're not in danger. We're just going to be late for something, and it's okay. And that is how powerful our mind is, because our mind responds to every single thought that we have. It tries to help us. It tries to help our body. So if we instruct our body to do a certain thing, our body listens, and it will disperse the appropriate chemicals into our bloodstream to help us. And that is where the placebo comes in as well, because hopefully you've heard of the placebo effect, and that is where we believe as a patient that we have taken a drug that will help us get better, because we believe we've taken a drug that will help us to get better. But actually, what our body doesn't know is the fact that we have taken a placebo, which means a fake drug, a sugar pill, or whatever the substance is in that placebo drug. But our mind doesn't even know that. All our mind knows is that this thing that we have swallowed is going to get us better. So what does our body chemistry do? Our hormones shoot out these dopamines and these pain-releasing chemicals into our bloodstream to that area where we need healing. So this is why how powerful the placebo drugs are, because it's not actually about the drug. It's about our belief about what we believe is going to happen when we take this drug. So this can be applied to anything. Whatever we believe is going to happen in our future or to our health, our body responds. Okay, so now I want you to experience your mind-body connection in action for you. So we're going to do a few, or 3 actually, experiments so that you can really experience what happens in your body when you think a certain thing. So I would like you to now close your eyes, get yourself into a comfortable position, breathe, and just allow your breath to deepen, and allow your body to soften, and allow your body to be present in this moment. Breathe. Are your eyes still closed, or are you watching me? Just checking. So close your eyes. Really be 100% present within this experiment. And now, in your imagination, I want you to imagine that you are holding a ripe, juicy lemon in your hand. Just imagine that for a moment or 2. You're holding the lemon. And now you're bringing that lemon up to your nose. And you're giving it a bit of a sniff. Smells nice and lemony. Okay, so now in your imagination, I want you now to pick up an imaginary knife and you are going to cut that lemon in half. And now you're going to take 1/2 of that lemon and you are going to bring it up to your mouth. And now you are going to give that half a lemon that you've just cut in half a big lick with your tongue. Oh, how juicy that lemon is. Taste that lemon. Oh, feel that tangy juiciness. And now you're going to lift your face up, open your mouth, and you're going to squeeze a whole load of that lemon juice into your mouth. Now just notice what's going on in your body. Just notice what's going on in your mouth. And now I want you to take a big bite out of that lemon. Take a great big bite out of that lemon. Now start chewing it. Okay, enough. Okay, in your mind's eye now, you're putting down that lemon, you're spitting it out. You don't want any more of that lemon in your mouth. Spit it out. Take a deep breath, put down your imaginary knife and open your eyes. Okay, so what went on for you there? What went on? Did you notice anything within your mouth? Did you notice your salivatic glands operating? Did you feel your mouth water? If you did, then you just experienced your mind-body connection in action. So what that meant was that you were thinking something and your body believed it. So it released chemicals in your body and it released instructions in your body and your body responded. Yeah? So your saliva was probably working overtime to combat the acidity and the juiciness of the lemon. So what you need to notice in this experiment is that actually you weren't licking a lemon, you weren't actually eating a lemon, you were only thinking it. You're only imagining it. And this is how powerful your mind is. So, for example, this is how it might operate another time. You might sort of think of food, like, you might be somewhere, driving, or you're in the office or wherever you're working or whatever you're doing, and you might be thinking of food, and then your stomach starts to rumble because you've just instructed your stomach that it's going to be fed soon. So of course then it's releasing all its juices to help you digest the food. And another example might be completely unrelated to food, but you might have an interview or something in your future that you're a bit nervous about. You might do some public speaking, or you might be going on an aeroplane for the first time and you're a bit nervous, whatever, and you think of that thing in your future and you start to feel butterflies in your stomach. You feel that your stomach churning over a little bit, and that's again, your body is responding to your thoughts, even though it's not happening, even though you're thinking about it in your future. It's not happening, it's not real, but your body doesn't know that. Your body actually thinks you're experiencing it right now because of what you're thinking. Yeah? So now we're going to do another experiment. So this one, just keep your eyes open for a moment. And wherever you're sitting, just make sure you're sitting in a comfortable position. And this time you're going to be holding out your hands, your arms. You're going to be holding them out. So just bring your elbows in towards your body, but your hands are raised upwards. And just taking a note, first of all, before we begin this experiment, just notice the height of your hands and where are they in relation to your body. Yeah, so now you know where your hands are. Now close your eyes, taking another deep breath in, and let your breath go, keeping your hands upraised. And now I want you to imagine that somebody is placing a very heavy brick in your right palm. Yeah, can't you feel how heavy that is? Okay, so somebody now has just placed a heavy brick in your right hand. Notice how heavy that is. And now in your left hand, somebody has just placed a helium balloon. And they've tied the helium balloon from a piece of string around one of your little fingers. And now you notice how light that helium balloon is, feeling so light, like a fluffy cloud. And now bringing your attention back to your right arm, your right hand, and you're noticing somebody is now placing a second brick in your right palm. And they've just placed that second brick in your right hand, and it is so heavy, and you're feeling the weight of that heavy, heavy brick. And you're imagining and you're feeling it so heavy in your right hand. You can barely keep the weight of that brick, but you are able to keep the weight of the bricks in your hand. And now you bring your attention to your left hand, and somebody has come along who has a big stack of helium balloons, and they're placing a second helium balloon in your hand, and they're just tying the base of the string of the helium balloon around another finger, and you're noticing how light that helium balloon is compared to your heaviness of your right hand. And then somebody comes along and places a third brick in your right hand. Oh my goodness, yes, a third brick. They place it in your right hand, and you're noticing now you can barely keep the strain. You can barely hold up the 3 bricks. It is so heavy, and you're noticing what's going on in your body right now. You're noticing what's going on in your shoulders. You're noticing what's going on in your arm and your hand, and you're noticing how heavy those bricks are. And in your left hand, another helium balloon is being placed, and a tie of string is being placed around another finger, and you're noticing how light in comparison your left hand is. So light, that helium balloon lifts your left hand up with its weightlessness, with its lightness. And you're noticing what's happening in your body. You're noticing what's happening in your muscles. You're noticing what's happening in your breathing. And without changing the position of your hands, you open your eyes. You open your eyes. Where are your hands? Just notice the position of your hands. Have they moved from where they were when you started the experiment? Yeah? So you might have found that one of your hands has gone up, the one with the helium balloon, or you might have noticed the ones with the brick in has gone right down. Yeah, okay, now relax your shoulders, breathe, relax, and just move your shoulders around and just let go of any of the tension that you might have been holding there. So did you notice anything going on in your body there? Did you notice any tension in your muscles? What went on for you? Just share it with me. Yeah? And was one of your hands more raised than the other? And if it was, then again, this is your powerful mind body in action. This is your mind body connection. This is your mind telling your body instructions, even though it was imaginary, even though it wasn't real. Your body believed it was real. Okay, so our third experiment, the last one. So closing your eyes again, getting comfortable in your chair or your bed or wherever you're sitting, just getting comfortable again in your position, allowing the body to become relaxed. Closing your eyes. Breathing deeply. Letting go of any tension in the body, just letting it go. And feeling your body getting heavier and heavier within the chair or whatever you're sitting on, just allowing the body to get heavy and relaxing as your body is sinking further and further and relaxing more and more. Breathe. And in your imagination now, I just want you to cast your mind back to a situation in your past. It can be a recent past or a distant past, but it's a time in your past where you felt really happy. It's a time, a moment in time it might be, or it might be a situation that you've had or an event that you went to, or just, a moment where you felt really happy. Just picture that in your mind's eye. What were you doing and what were you feeling? Who were you with? So just picturing that scene in your mind's eye. And just noticing that scene in your mind's eye and picturing it as vividly as you possibly can. Just imagining that beautiful time that you had, that happy, joyful time. And just replaying it like a movie screen in your mind, replaying that time, replaying that scene. And how do you feel in your body? Just noticing what's going on in your body. Just noticing what's happening in your muscles. Just noticing what's happening in your breathing. Just noticing what's happening in your facial muscles as you remember that time of your past where you were really happy. Being aware of your body, your breath, your breathing. Now letting that scene go. Just let it go. Just switching your mind now to the present moment. And now in your mind's eye, keeping your eyes closed, now I want you to cast your mind back to a stressful situation that you had either in your recent past or your distant past. Nothing too stressful, but something that happened to you where you felt your stress levels rise. What was going on? Just imagining that past situation in your mind's eye. Just playing it like a movie screen in your mind. So what's going on in your body now? As you are imagining that stressful situation, what's going on in your body? As you imagine that time where you felt pretty uncomfortable. What's happening to your breathing? What's happening to your muscles? What's happening to your body? What's happening to your facial expressions? Okay, deep breath in, let go of that thought. You're no longer in that stressful situation. It is a part of your past. Let it go. Breathing deeply, out breath, let it go. Opening your eyes. Okay, so what happened in those two experiments? So did you notice in the first experiment when you were happy? Did you notice anything going on in your body? Was your body relaxed? Was your breathing relaxed? Was your heart rate relaxed and slow? And then what happened in the stressful memory? What happened to your heart rate? What happened to your body? You might have feel your palms getting sweaty. You might have noticed your facial expressions starting to scrunch up. You might have noticed your heart levels raising. Your heart might have been beating faster? What was going on? Did you notice any difference in your body with those thoughts, with those memories? So this is to demonstrate to you that memory, if we keep thinking back to our past, when there's been stressful situations, our body is experiencing it as if it's happening now. And again, remember, your body doesn't know the difference between fantasy or reality. It just thinks it's happening right now. So you can imagine if you're going back and churning over old memories, old stressful situations, or old uncomfortable situations, you're bringing that into your present moment, and your body is responding to that memory as if it is happening now. And so you can imagine what pressure and what stress your body's going under, your immune system's going under, your freeze, fight or flight, your stress hormones are probably pumping out into your body when they don't need to be there. So just be mindful of that any churning over of old past memories that aren't serving you, let them go, let them be part of your past. And of course, this applies in the opposite direction too. So if you are feeling a bit down the dumps, or a bit depressed, or a bit, stressed for the future, rather than feeling these feelings, you could switch these into positive thoughts, into more happy thoughts, just by remembering a past situation you might have had that really brought you joy, brought you happiness, and you could bring that time into your present moment, and then your body starts to open up and your body starts to respond in a really positive way. Even though it's not happening to you right now, your body believes that it is. And so this is why our minds are so powerful, and we can use our mind as a tool to help us in anything. So say, for example, you are a bit stressed about something that's going to happen to you in your future, or you're in a stressful situation and you want to change that, then you can imagine this future event being the outcome that you wanted. So, for example, if you are wanting something to happen in the future, if you want to create a dream, if you want to create something that truly makes you happy, then you imagine it into existence. And this is another example of your mind-body connection in action, because not only does your mind affect your body, but your mind affects your external space as well. It affects your future because, and this is the thing to get, you are electromagnetic. Okay, and what does that mean? It means your electricity, means that you are a current, a vibration, just like electricity. So you vibrate at a certain frequency. And you are also magnetic, which means that you draw things to you. You are electromagnetic. And so to create things that you desire for yourself in your future, you have to think it and feel it into being your future. So this is how powerful you are. When you think of something, it changes your body chemistry. It changes the way that you vibrate. It changes your electromagnetic energy. So if you want something in your future, you have to vibrate it. Because remember, you are magnetic. You are drawing it to you. Like attracts like. Just like a magnet, you are no different. And so if you want a certain outcome for your future, imagine it first. Believe it's possible. Really believe it as if it is going to happen, like with no doubt, like the placebo effect, with no doubt. This is going to happen to me. So you imagine it into being. So not only does your body prepare yourself for it, but you send out these electromagnetic waves into your space, into your future, that draws it to you. And that's how powerful you are. I cannot stress it enough. And this is probably why unconsciously you have been creating things in your life that maybe aren't what you want because you've been thinking it. And how often do we think thoughts that we don't want to happen? Like, you think, I really don't want that to happen, and it happens, yeah? And when we think it enough, it will happen. So just by you imagining something will happen, you will create it. And it's not conscious. Most of it is unconscious. We operate 95% out of our unconscious programming. And what does that mean? That means that actually we're pretty much out of control because our body just operates on automatic pilot. And we only operate kind of 5% out of conscious choice. However, we can switch that around. We can switch around. We can operate 95% out of our conscious and only 5% out of our unconscious. And how do we do that? Well, first of all, we've got to believe it. First of all, we've got to understand that this is what we're doing. We've got to understand that this is how we are attracting things to us that perhaps we don't want in our life. And so our programming, the way that it works, the way that we have been programmed, is that we have been downloaded information, right? We're a bit like a computer in that respect. We download information, and usually very much from our early years. So from the age of 0 to the age of 6, we download most of our information. So we might have learnt some very unhelpful things, and they're not even conscious, yet we believe they are true because we've downloaded them to believe that they're true. So for example, we might have been told off as a child, or we might have been told you're not good enough, or you might have been told that you have done wrong and you're a bad person. And so we absorb all this information, and guess what? We grow up believing that this is real because we've downloaded it into that 95% unconscious programming, and then we end up reliving those experiences because we're attracting it to us. Remember, we are electromagnetic beings. So by having an experience in our past, and our unconscious remembers it, then we are more likely to keep repeating those patterns because we believe them to be true. Remember, our beliefs are really powerful. And I'll give you a little example. So this is what happened to me. I was rubbish at spelling. Okay, I was awful at school at spelling, and I was always given these spelling tests at home. And I used to have to write down all these words at a weekend, and then my parents would mark them off. Yes, you got that right, or no, you got that wrong. And nearly every time I got a whole row of crosses. I got most of them wrong. And I would be told off or chastised, or just told go away, come back, do better, learn more, you're not paying attention at school, or whatever the language that they used. And of course, when I go to school, the teachers say the same, you're not getting this, you're not learning, you're not getting it right, you can't spell. And guess what? Even to this day, I can't spell. Well, actually, probably about 5 years ago, I realised this one. And I realised, oh my goodness, this is probably why I just can't spell. And you know what I did? I switched that belief system around. I decided that it was just my belief that I can't spell is the reason why I can't spell. And so I decided one day that I could spell. I can spell. I am a brilliant speller. And I retrained my mind, my unconscious mind, to believe that I could spell. And I just kept repeating it to myself, I can spell. And whenever I stumbled over because usually we got spell checker now, so it's not so bad, it's not so noticeable. But if I'm writing out with a pen and I realise, oh my goodness, I don't know how to spell this, and then I say to myself, I can spell, I can spell. And out of nowhere, the right spelling pops into my mind, and then I write it down. Perfect, correct spelling. And this is how powerful you are. The reason why I'm telling you this is, if you have been told a certain thing in your life that you are a something and you believe it, then guess what? You will become it. So the way to change who you are into a different way, or to have different experiences, you just change that unconscious belief pattern in your mind. And although we're not going to experience that in today's workshop, watch this space, because I'm going to be giving away so many more free workshops and downloadable things for you to experience firsthand, because this is so important, this stuff, and you are so powerful, and the more we get how powerful we are, then the more in control of our lives that we are. Okay, so now that you've discovered that your thoughts and your beliefs have an effect on your health and your life, you're now going to discover how your thoughts and beliefs have affected your posture and your body personality type. So you're going to find out now what your body personality type is. Okay, so we have a lot of different personality body types, but we generally fall under one of two categories, and they are the red light reflex or the green light reflex body personality type. So when I share with you what those are, just try and identify with which one you are, and you probably will fall under one category. So the red light reflex is with somebody who has a posture that is more sort of looking downwards. You probably find that their shoulders are quite rounded and that their head is thrown forward because they probably looking down more than they are up, and generally have quite tight abdominal muscles, and the lower spine is quite weak, and they have an anterior tilt, which means that the bottom is tucked under, the pelvis is sort of tucked right under, and that goes with somebody who's got quite tight hamstrings and very tight calf muscles, because they're kind of like holding on. And this goes with somebody who's has a quite fearful personality type. They're obviously not very confident either, and they're probably used to seeing life with a glass half empty, because that posture type doesn't generally go with somebody who's more confident. I mean, you see it, you just observe people around town or, in your community, and you'll kind of see the people that are more fearful based. Their beliefs are more kind of inward, or they're more frightened of life. They don't want to express themselves. They're probably quite shy as well, lacking in confidence. And they've adopted this posture over time. It's nothing to do with the spine actually bending. It's to do with the muscles are shaping the spine because of our thoughts and beliefs. Because this is a protective posture. It's somebody who's trying to hide their vital organs, which are all inside here. And they're trying to protect themselves unconsciously, all unconscious. And somebody who's sort of folding in, who doesn't really want to, experience life as fully as they probably can. And so that's a very exaggerated version of a red light reflex, but you might have a tendency to be a little bit of that. And this is the personality body type of somebody who has a green light reflex that's very different, it's very opposite, it's much more open. So somebody who has a green light personality type, they're probably open-chested, they're very open people, obviously, because it shows in the posture, and their head is more probably upright. However, they're probably leaning forwards, and their posterior tilt is more outways. So that goes with somebody who probably has quite a few issues with the lower part of their spine, and also somebody who has quite tight quadriceps as well. So this goes with a personality type of somebody who is always in a hurry, always in a hurry, always trying to get to their destination probably before they are meant to. They're real doers, they're real givers, they really want to experience life fully, and there's nothing wrong in that. That's, you know, that is with somebody who's very confident in who they are. And so they're the main two personality body types, the green light or the red light. And you know, you can change any posture that you like just by changing your thoughts. So if you don't actually want to be a red light reflex person, say if you identified the fact that you are a bit more kind of like rounded shoulders and you're more of a fearful type of person, then if you start changing your beliefs and changing your thoughts to more uplifted thoughts and more open and trusting thoughts, you'll find that your body will start to open up. And you'll find that your muscles start to relax around your shoulders, and you'll find that your posture and your spine is starting to straighten. And that's the power of your mind, because your mind affects your body posture type. So just by changing your thoughts and your beliefs, you will change your posture. And it also goes in the other way. If you change your body posture type, say if you do want to be a bit more confident, say if you do want to be a bit more open and expressive in the world, a bit more of a green light reflex personality type, then all you have to do is change your posture from here to here. And guess what happens? Because your body is opening up and realigning, your mind aligns with you. Your mind starts to think more expansive thoughts, more open thoughts. And because the mind affects the body and the body affects the mind, and your mind-body connection is one. You know, they're not separate. Your mind is not separate to your body, and your body is not separate from your mind. Whatever your mind tells your body will respond. And whatever your body tells your mind will respond. So it's this vicious circle. So just being aware of, like, if you want to change the way that your body is, then change your thoughts. And so now I'm going to share with you about body splits. Okay, so we have different personality body types as well in the form of body splits. And so that can go with somebody who looks very different on the top half of their body to the bottom half of their body. So that might go with somebody who has very firm, chunky legs, who is very very sturdy, very strong in their legs, maybe quite a bit overweight in their legs. And that goes with somebody who's a real home bird, who's really secure in their home, who doesn't really like to venture out very far, who likes their security, who is probably really good at being financially secure. They've worked it all out. They've made sure they've got that real good standing, that real good kind of secure feeling in their life through their body. And they're probably quite stubborn as well. You know, they know what they want. They know that they want this security in their life and they don't want to budge. And with the top half of the body will be very, very different. It could be very slight, very slim. So you get the two very opposite differences. So you get the big chunky legs and a very tiny slim upper body. And that goes with somebody who is probably not very good at expressing themselves. They're very quite inward and quite shy perhaps. So that shows that they're not used to expressing their energy, the fullness, and their heart is probably, you know, not as open as it could be, and they're not used to sort of expressing themselves through their voice or through their arms and their, you know, whatever they're doing with their arms. And so somebody who has a very slight top half of the body and a very heavy bottom half of the body, then that means that they've probably got a bit of a personality split. So if you can identify with one of those, with that, or you know of somebody that has, then just think about whether their personality type matches what I've just told you about what is going on in their body. And so you'll have then maybe the opposite. You'll have somebody with a very big top half, you know, that whether that's muscular or fat, or, you know, somebody who's really built up the top part of their body. And that goes with somebody who's very used to expressing who they are. They're not frightened of showing who they are to the world. And they're probably very open people, very creative people. Their heart's very open. And they're not frightened of sharing their voice or expressing themselves. However, they might have very tiny, thin legs. And that goes with the same person who might be very good and confident out there, but they're not very grounded. They're very bit all over the place. Probably not financially grounded or financially secure, and then don't feel secure. They probably move house a lot, and they're not very good at standing on their own 2 feet. You know, they might be a bit of a free spirit, and they're kind of more sort of up there than grounded. So if you identify with that personality type, then just think about, you know, how you have created your body by your thoughts and your beliefs about who you are. And we also have a potential split down the middle as well. So our right side of our body represents our masculine self, and our left side of the body represents our feminine self. And if we find that we are more into our feminine, for example, than our masculine, then we'll probably have more problems, health problems, or accidents and injuries down one side more than the other. So I'll just explain a little bit more about the masculine and the feminine self. So the masculine self, which is the right side of the body, that's the personality type of the man, which is very a doer, is a very linear person, very logical, a bit of a pioneer. He's not frightened to sort of go out and find what they want and provide and express. And they're very very linear in their way of being. And the feminine is much more passive. It's much more of a beer, and very intuitive, creative, much more more in their compassion. So that's more of a person who is probably less of a doer and is more of a beer. And so if you find that you are more of a feminine energy in your life, as a general rule, then you might have problems down your right side of your body because your masculine self is not being expressed. And the same again with your masculine self. If you find yourself you're more of an action person, you're more of a doer, you're more logical, you're more sort of out there rather than in here, then if you're more like that as a general rule in your life, and you're avoiding or you're ignoring your feminine side, then you'll probably find that you do have more issues down at your left side of the body. And it doesn't matter if you're male or you're female either, because we all have both masculine and feminine qualities within us, and we all have to have or express both sides of ourselves to feel that sense of balance within us, to feel that sense of the doing and the being, the yin and the yang, because we are, you know, we operate in the world of polarity, of masculine, of feminine, of night, of day, of black, of white. We operate in the world of polarity, so we need to embrace all sides of self. And when we ignore a side of the self, then we have issues. Our body will tell us, our body will remind us that we are out of balance. So now I'm going to share with you about your 4 main body centers. So we have 4 main body centers within our body, and each body center corresponds to a mindset. So let's just start with our moving center. So that's from our hips, our legs, our knees, our feet. So that is called the moving center. So that represents your moving, your direction, your path, your feeling and sense of stability and security too. It's about walking your unique path. And if we have any issues in our legs, it will probably mean that we're having a few issues in our life regarding our direction, our path forward. And even if we trip up or break a limb, then that often represents a real crisis in our security, a real crisis in our way forward, a real crisis in our direction. Where do we go? Which way do we go? So if you have any issues in your legs and your feet, then just think about how you are feeling, how you are being, and what are you telling your body? Do you feel insecure within your sense of security in your home life, in your path forward, in your career? And if so, your body will tell you. Your legs and your feet will tell you, because they will have aches, pains, and issues and health issues. So that is your moving center. And now we're going on to our being center. So that's from our hips up to our chest. And that is about how we're being, basically. It holds all our vital organs, our will, our sense of power, our sense of self-esteem, particularly in the solar plexus, where our solar plexus chakra is. It represents our real sense of self and our self-esteem, basically. So if we're not feeling particularly confident and we're not expressing ourselves truly to who we truly are, then we'll get issues in our organs, particularly in our stomach. If we're feeling like we're not confident in who we are, we're churning things over, we're feeling a lack of self-worth even, and we're worried about what other people think, or we're churning things over about, did I do that right, and not feeling at all confident in who you are, or in your work, or in who you are in your creativity. If you're not expressing yourself with full confidence and sharing your true self into the world, then you will get issues within your tummy area, and that's with all the vital organs within this area. And it also includes obviously the heart as well. So if your heart is closed, remember it goes with that red light reflex. So if you're feeling like closed to life, it's like, what are you protecting? What pain and what hurt did you have in the past where you feel you have to protect yourself? And then that often goes with people who have issues with their heart, like heart attacks or aneurysms, and that often goes to somebody who's been deeply wounded, deeply hurt, and they're covering it up, and the energy cannot flow freely. And so we need to express ourselves. We need to express our love, because our love center, our chest, our openness is about really feeling alive and loving life. And if we don't love life, then we will close down. And then when we close down, we'll get this protection all the way through our heart and our chest. And that often can also go with blocks, even cancers and things like that, where we're blocking our heart and we're not truly opening ourselves up and really feeling those feelings. Particularly, like if we have been hurt, we need to express those feelings, particularly grief, particularly feeling like unloved. Then we need to express that, and we need to tell this part of the body that we are loved, and it's just a thing that happened to us, and don't make it mean as something. Remember about the beliefs, about what we believe something to mean. Well, we might have been hurt in the past, and we've made it mean that we're unlovable, for example. And then we've closed down, and then we believe that we're unlovable, and hey, look what happens. We start protecting ourselves, and then the fat starts to accumulate to protect ourselves even further. And then all sorts of issues start to happen within our body centers. So this is our being center. It's about how you be out there in the world, how you are expressing yourself, how you are confident in who you truly are. So if you have any issues in this area of your body, just maybe look at where you can heal that part of you, how you can express this part of you. And then also the being center goes with the spine. So it's the spine is obviously our life support. It's in our central nervous system. So it's about how much we support ourselves. You know, often we sort of go out and want support of other people or of other things, yet we have this central support system within us. We have the support that we need within us. And so if you have any issues down your spine or your back, any lower back issues, it often goes with somebody who feels that they're not being supported in life. You're not being supported financially, or you're not being supported by your loved ones, or you're just generally not feeling supported. And if that is the case, then you might find that you will have back issues. So it's about building up your strength, building up your feeling of self-support, and that will then alleviate any back issues that you have. So we also have our doing center. So that is the shoulders and the arms. And that represents what we do, basically. How do we express this beingness from within us out into our life? Are we doing what we love? Are we doing what we're here to do? Are we expressing who we truly are up and out? And our expression of our doing, our being, is in what we do. So if we're not actually doing what we love, then you'll probably find that the energy will come up and get locked in our shoulders. Or we'll find that we get issues in our arms because the energy is not flowing from our being out into our doing. And so that's why it's really important that we do what we love, because then the energy will really flow for us. And remembering that the right side of the body is about our masculine energy, and that's the giving energy. So how much do you give and how much do you receive? And that's the feminine energy. So when we do or give more than we receive, for example, then again the energy is not flowing, and we'll find a block, we'll find a resistance, and then we start to get pain in our arms or in our hands. And it's the same with maybe if you're receiving more than you're giving, then again it's like the energy is not flowing. Remember the yin and the yang in perfect balance. We need to keep this flow, this energy flowing in our doing. It's vital that we do and express ourselves in this positive energy, in this positive way. And so when you do what you love, then you have this healthy expression coming from the belly, from our heart, and out into our arms. And you probably find that you have very healthy arms. You don't have any issues in your arms or your hands because the energy is flowing. And then the shoulders represent the burdens. How many burdens are you carrying? Not just of your own, but of other people's burdens. You know, are you carrying the load? Are you carrying more than you should? And again, it goes with how much are you doing, you know, the doing and the being. How much are you doing? Are you doing too much? And if you are feeling you're doing too much, your shoulders will come upwards, and then you start to feel the burden and the weight of all that pressure of other people's issues on your shoulders. You've got to let it go. It's like, don't give so much perhaps, or don't take it on board. Somebody else's issues is theirs. Yes, we can be compassionate and we can be supportive, but how much are we going to take on literally physically within our body? So it's really important to just sometimes give what we can and then know when to stop. Know when to set our boundary. And that also goes with the healthy upper body, with our being and our giving and our doing. You know, setting our boundaries sometimes is really vital. And sometimes we forget that, and we just end up giving and giving and giving until it builds and builds and builds, and then suddenly there's nowhere for it to go, and it just builds onto our shoulders. So if you find that you have issues on your shoulders, what do you need to let go of? You know, what do you need? What is yours, basically? What's yours and what's other people's? Take it off, shake it off, let it go, yeah? And then we come up to our neck and our voice, our throat. So that's all part also of the being center. It's coming from the doing is coming from the being to our voice. How do we express ourselves? How do we express our being? You know, are we truthful in our voice? Are we expressing what's in here out? So if you have any throat issues or any neck issues, perhaps you're not expressing yourself freely. Maybe you've been told in the past to just, don't speak, or what you have to say is not important, or what you have to say is not of value. And if you feel that, then you get issues in your throat. You might have sore throats a lot, or you might be coughing a lot, or you might get thyroid issues. So to have a healthy throat and neck, expressing yourself is really important, letting the energy from here flow up and out through our arms and through our voice. And then lastly, we have the control center, and that is our head. And basically, our head controls the rest of the centers. Like I've discussed before, our mind and our beliefs then get reflected into the body. And it turns into feelings, it turns into pain, it turns into whatever in the body. Your thoughts and your beliefs create everything. So your control center is vital. It's the most vital part of yourself. It's being mindful about what you choose to think. And we all have a choice about what we think, believe it or not, but we do. And so just being mindful about our thoughts and where we project those thoughts outside of ourselves and inside of ourselves. And just talking briefly about thoughts and emotions as well, because we all have emotions. We're emotional beings. We are energetic beings. Energy in motion is emotion. So when we feel something, we need to express it. So if we're not sharing or showing our emotions and we lock it inside of ourselves, then we will get issues within our body. It's like trying to cage a pacing tiger or lion, because when we try and contain our feelings, that energy will turn inwards and it will disrupt all our energy centers in our body, and it will cause havoc to our internal organs. So that's why it's really important to express your emotions, express your feelings, let it go, and then move on. And when we get stuck into an emotion, when we get stuck in an emotion and we don't let it go, that's when it festers. That's when it will rise up into anger or sorrow or pain, or huge, more bigger emotions than actually were there in the first place, because it's being contained in the body and it's festering and it's getting bigger and bigger. And so eventually it will need to come out. And also skin issues, actually, by the way, skin problems all represent the fact that you're not expressing something. What is it you're not expressing? Something is under your skin. Something is not coming out, and it's showing in the form of skin issues. So it's really important that we express ourselves in a healthy way, always. Like children, they'd be crying one minute and then they'd be laughing the next. And that's really healthy emotional system that we need to just keep expressing ourselves emotionally, even though we have probably been told not to. But, let's not be afraid to express ourselves. And also our thoughts, if we think of something, we exacerbate this emotional feeling, because it's what we attach to that feeling. So, for example, if we start to feel an emotion and then we think about the emotion, like, oh, that person doesn't like me, and then you start to attach a belief about that emotion, then that emotion just gets bigger. So your thoughts actually feed in an emotion. So this is why if you just let an emotion go and then move on, then it won't be an issue. But if you start expressing an emotion and then your thoughts attach to that emotion, and then you'll start thinking awful things about this emotion, whatever you've made this emotion mean, it will escalate out of control. It will get bigger and bigger and bigger. So this is why it's really important to stop your brain interfering with the natural process of your emotions. Take your mind out of it. Just express it and move on. Just like animals, you know, they express, if they've been attacked by another animal, they will just express it by shaking or just, using their voice, and then they'll move on. They'll be grazing in the grass the next minute. They're not frightened. They're not looking around their shoulder every 5 seconds to see, what else is going to get them. They've moved on. They've let the fear go. They've let the thoughts go. They've let the emotions go. And so we can do the same. So I hope that has helped you understand your body personality type and how you hold on to energy, sometimes positively, sometimes negatively, and just being a bit more aware of how you express your energy. So your body is communicating to you all the time, and that might be in trips, falls, scraps, grazes, bruises, any issues in the body, any illnesses, diseases, coughs, colds, whatever is not healthy within your body is your body's way of getting your attention, because you're not going to listen any other way, are you? But do we listen? Do we listen? Do we just grab the nearest, pill and just hope it'll go away very, very quickly? If we do that, then the issue will just keep coming back. And sometimes an awful lot worse. And we don't want a crisis in our lives, do we? So it's really important that we listen to those whispers. When our mind is sick, our body gets sick. So, it's always the place to look is, what are we feeling? What are we thinking? What are we avoiding in our life that we're trying to ignore? And if we're trying to ignore the truth within us, then something will happen to get your attention, and it's usually within the body. So do you know what your body is communicating to you? And if you don't, then we're going to do a little exercise now. We're going to do a little bit of a meditation. It'll take up just over 10 minutes. So get yourself into a comfortable position. You're not going to be watching me. You're going to be listening to me. So that will encourage you to truly tune in, to really shut out the world and give your body this opportunity to truly listen to what it wants to communicate to you. Okay? So we'll begin now. Okay, so get yourself now into a nice, comfortable position. So that might be in a chair, sitting in a chair, or you might want to lie down for this one. So whatever works for you, just wherever you feel you will relax the most, just get yourself into a nice, comfortable position with your spine straight, uncrossing your legs, just closing your eyes, and just allowing yourself to breathe and relax. Taking a couple of deep breaths in, breathing in and out. Just feeling your body starting to let go. Feeling your body getting heavier and heavier as it sinks further and further down, down, down. Taking another deep breath in and allowing your body just to let go on the out breath, feeling your body getting really heavy now. Your whole body is letting go. Keep breathing. and deepening into relaxation. Nice big deep breaths, feeling your body completely relaxed and heavy. And you're just now aware of your body. So you're bringing your full consciousness and your awareness into your body. How does your body feel? How does your body feel? Just tuning in to your body as a whole and get a sense of how it's feeling. Is it feeling tired? Is it feeling stiff, tight, relaxed? Just whatever words come to your mind, just allow your body to open up and start speaking to you. Are you drawn to a particular part of your body? Is there any part of your body that your attention has been drawn to? Is there any part of your body that is trying to get your attention? Try not to think this one, just allow your body to start communicating to you, opening up to you, and it will want your attention. So just allow any part of your body to start calling to you. And if you're not drawn to one part of your body, that's okay. Just keep your attention and your focus on your body. And if there is a part of your body that your consciousness has been drawn to, then just sit with that for a moment. Just listen to that part of your body just for a moment. What is this part of your body saying to you? So if your body had a voice, what would it be saying to you right now? Try not to strain, just allow your body to open up to you and just listen. What is your body wanting to say to you? Are there any words that come to mind? Are there any feelings that arise? Your body will have its unique way of communicating to you. So it might be in words, it might be in feelings, it might be in emotions, or it might be colours, or it might be sensations in your body. But just trust that whatever you're feeling, whatever you're thinking, just trust that this is perfect for you and this is your body's way of getting your attention. So if your body had a voice or an emotion, what would it be communicating to you right now? What is it saying to you? What is it feeling? And do these words or feelings relate to an issue in your life right now? Or it might even be related to a memory from your past. Just allow your body to express itself through your unconscious. Just listen. And now bringing your attention to your heart. Just feeling your heart beating in your chest. And just step inside your beautiful, pure, loving heart. Opening up your heart now and just sit within your heart center for a few moments and listen. Opening up your heart, resting within your heart, and listen. What's deep within your heart that you've been ignoring or not expressing? Just allow your heart to start talking to you. What's it really feeling? What does your heart want from you or for you? What wounds lay deep within its layers that you've not been able to express? Listen. Your heart wants you to listen. Your heart has been missing you and wants your attention. Listen to its truth. Try not to analyze or think. Just allow your heart to express itself through its feelings. And taking a deep breath in and out, and you step back out of your heart and you thank your body for showing you the truth and for sharing its wisdom with you. And if you didn't receive any answers, then just trust that your unconscious will bring you the answer at the right time for you. And if you did get some answers, then just take this piece of knowledge with you into your life and honor that information by making a promise to yourself that you will listen to it and you will follow its advice. And you can now safely go forward into your life knowing what your body wants from you, what your heart wants from you. And taking a deep, long, slow, final breath in and out. And just opening your eyes a fraction, allowing your gaze soft focus into the room. Just moving your body slightly, so getting yourself back from your body into your external space. And when you're ready, just come back to this workshop and I'll be there waiting for you. How did you get on? Did you get your answers? Did you get some answers? And look, if you didn't, don't worry, don't stress about it, because this takes practice. Listening to your whispers takes practice. And the more that you do this, the more able your body will open up to you. So if you didn't get this first time, it's okay. And also know that your body will, if it wants to get a message to you, it will. And so trust that whatever happens to you in the next couple of days will be your answer. You will get your answer. So just trust this process. So your mind and your beliefs and your emotions reshape your cells and your bones and your body. Every single day we are rejuvenating and regenerating. And if we hold the same thoughts and beliefs, then what? Guess what? Yeah, we just keep recreated the same health issues in the same body and the same posture. So get this. 7 million red blood cells die and reform every single second. Yes. And every 4 days, your stomach lining will regrow. And every 7 years, your bones will fully rebuild. You'll have completely different bones in 7 years' time. So we could recreate a new body just by thinking different thoughts and believing different beliefs. And however, nothing will change if you don't change those thoughts. And we have on average 50,000 thoughts per day. And 45,000 of those thoughts are going to be exactly the same tomorrow. So we can't change anything if we don't change those thoughts. And it does take a little bit of practice, but it's once you get into the pattern of reprogramming those thoughts and those beliefs, it will transform your life. And you have the power to do this. You do. And I can show you how to do that. Yes, but you have the power to do this. We all have the power to do this. And this is how exciting it is, because you have the power to transform your health, your body, your posture. You can create your dreams. Just think of of your wildest dreams. You can create this just by changing your thoughts and your beliefs. It's so simple. And you have the power to do this. We all have the power to do this, and I will show you how. So for the past 11 years now, I have been running a 12-week program called the MindBody Journey. And people that have attended my course have told me afterwards that it's absolutely transformed their lives. And it's one of the best things that they've ever done. So I kind of know that this works. And the good news is that you can do this course too, and you actually don't have to come to my location either, because I have now put it all in this book. Yes, your own mind-body journey. And if you want to transform your life, then this is here for you, and you can do it in your own time, or you can do it with a friend, however it works for you. So if you'd like to buy this book, you can either download a copy. So on my website here, you'll be able to download it, or you can buy a copy and I will personally post it to you. Of course, the good news about the book is that it's a fraction of the cost of what you would pay to come on one of my courses. And it's almost like I am guiding you through this journey. You will go on such an amazing discovery. Or if you'd just like to keep receiving more free tips and tools, or more of these workshops, then join our community. And you can do that by signing up on the website, wherever it is. You'll be able to see it. There's a button, sign up, put your name down, and I'll make sure I'll keep you posted. Personally posted. Or you can like my Facebook page, Finding Your Freedom. You'll find me there, and you'll get lots of free resources and video messages from me to keep you on track. Or if you just feel you need a bit of personal care, I am here to give you a one-to-one. So you can contact me and we can arrange a time for you on Skype or FaceTime or whatever works for you. I will be available for you. And through a session, they're so powerful, and we will be able to unlock and reprogram your main key that is keeping you stuck and unfulfilled. So that's available for you too. So please feel free to share this workshop with anybody that you know it will help. Because if it's helped you, no doubt it will help other people. So this is the end of your workshop, and I am so thrilled that you have come this far with me, and I am so thrilled that you've honoured your time, and hopefully you got something out of this, and hopefully you have discovered more about yourself, because you do know this stuff actually. It's just that we need reminding of our power and how we can create anything in our lives. So it's all from me for now, and I really hope to see you again soon. Lots of love. Bye.